Yes, Sabeel, beta, we are live.
Thank you, ma'am.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Sabeel Khan, and I belong to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region of Pakistan. I'm a research fellow at WomenAscension, which is a global organization dedicated to advancing peace, justice, and women's rights. It's an honor to be here with you all. Before we dive into today's important topic, let me tell you a bit about WomenAscension. WomenAscension is a global cause nonprofit organization that works for the betterment of the society by outlining female issues as well as targeting 17 SDGs in 81 countries virtually by collaboration and numerous projects. It was founded in 2021 by Dr. Maheen Amjad. WomenAscension Within WomenAscension, we have a specialized division called WomenAscension Peace and Justice, fostering pluralism. This division focuses on different issues, specifically on Sustainable Development Goal 16, which we will be discussing in this session today. And WAPJ, as we call it in short, aims to promote peaceful and inclusive societies, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. At today's webinar, we will focus on gender mainstreaming in public policy with a special focus on SDG 16. Gender disparities at all levels have crippled almost all the institutions in Pakistan. Wherever you visit, wherever you're going to take a look, you will find one common thing, and that would be gender gap. There would be gender equality, and it's much common in all the institutions in Pakistan. Around half of the population in Pakistan is women. And if we see, according to the recent reports by Women Economic Development Forum, Pakistan is ranked 145th out of 146 countries, which means we are second from the bottom and we are lagging behind. I guess we can't slip back from 146. If there were other numbers, of course, we would have crossed that too. And this is worse than 2023 when Pakistan was ranked at 142 on Global Gender Gap Index. So we have slipped 3 digits behind, which means we are lagging. Therefore, it is imperative to bring these inequalities to the fore by fostering understanding and highlight avenues of improvement and gender responsive strategies to fetch the women folk to the core of policy making at all levels. In line with the Women Ascension's model, empowering women by those in power. This webinar is a step forward and this endeavor that aims to uncover trends of inequalities in the public policies in Pakistan. Of course, we are sitting among some empowered ladies who are leaders in their field and who will be diving deep into the different aspects of inequalities which are embedded in different institutions in Pakistan. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished speakers for joining us today. We are fortunate to have a panel of worthy experts to bring a wealth of knowledge and experience on this subject. So our first speaker will be Dr. Maheen Amjad. Dr. Maheen Amjad is a trailblazer, leader, coach, a mentor, a teacher, and an entrepreneur. You serve as an pilot instructor, head of women empowerment and education at Feed the Poor. You serve as a judge at National Idea Bank, as a lecturer at Lincoln University College, Kuala Lumpur. This is amazing. CEO at Shewood, CEO at Entrepreneurs Equal, chairperson at Trade Turner, a president at World Humanitarian Leaders Movement, and as a foreign correspondent for Mahabahu, which is an international magazine, and recently assumed a new role as a head of dean at Paramount Students. Amazing. And with all this, she is the founder and president of WomenAscension, as we already mentioned before. This is wonderful of you, Dr. Maheen Amjad. The second trailblazer is Sadaf Kamran, who is going to be among the worthy panelists with extensive qualifications and experience. You serve as a life coach and trainer, having organized impactful events addressing domestic and social issues in Pakistan, and led the Extraordinary Earth Project in collaboration with international organization Students Rebuild Among Students. As the country representative for WomenAscension, you spearhead initiatives to raise awareness and master the sustainable development goals, climate change, gender mainstreaming of public policy, particularly gender SDG 16. Thank you, Ma'am, for joining us. You are going to be an asset to us. You are also an active member of Amnesty International and have participated in USA webinars and meetings. Your professional focus is pivoted in improving education rates in Pakistan, empowering women, advocating for human rights, and addressing climate change. Along with this, you're also serving as a field. You're working your energies, your services work as a field for women ascension. And number third is the lady of Fur, Dr. Ghazala Khan. Dr. Ghazala Khan, you're a leader, an entrepreneur, women rights advocate, and certified human rights consultant. You currently serve as Women Economic Empowerment Mentor at WomenAscension, founder and partner at Further Goldfields Industries. Amazing. Founder and director, Next Generation Leaders, mission head at Federation of International Gender and Human Rights, executive director at National Development Organization Pakistan, council advisor at Action for Sustainable Pakistan, and having previously served on different positions such as financial analyst, finance consultant, and finance manager. Wow, this is amazing, man. I must say, if versatility had a face, it would look like you. Your contribution as services speak volumes of your personality as an empowered lady. I think I have talked a lot, and I would like to let the experts and the worthy speakers to have a look at questions, and let's dig deeper into the questions. First of all, I would like Dr. Maheen Amjad to throw some light on the question number first, which read as why gender sensitivity should be stressed, and what role does gender justice play in ensuring strong institutions and effective governance? Ma'am Maheen Amjad, please.
Thank you, Sabeel, for giving me the floor, and thank you for introducing me in such a beautiful manner. The topic today, for when it comes to gender sensitivity that you're asking, it goes around more of when we talk about Pakistan, it has to do with more cultural perspective and giving opportunity, looking at giving, finding and giving opportunity on grounds with support. Because when we talk about gender sensitivity from community to community, Pakistan is that community which is very much family oriented, believes in the structural unit of a family, and in that we have to go from layer to layer to mend our ways to our lives. So considering the family structures and considering the different culture and mindset in Pakistan, those who have the support within their home, they do exceptional on ground. So we don't have any problems related to that in those family units. But when we look at the majority of Pakistan as a whole, when we especially talking about the rural areas, the opportunities and the chances to grow for the women, it's quite less because first the participation are accumulated in such a way that they are not just given the seat when it comes to quota system, but also they are pressurized to do exactly what the community as a whole want them to do. So That's the problem as well. Number two, when we look at the urban areas of Pakistan, we have a lot of competition and we are molding our ways towards gender sensitivity where we're getting opportunity. If we are looking towards the stagnation, why the growth is not happening? As Pakistan as a whole, and especially looking at the KPK, I would not say that the KPK itself is not progressive. From my point of view, Gilgit-Baltistan and KPK has improved themselves with time and progressively. The women are educated, the women are getting more of a seat, but there are certain areas where there are stagnation because of cultural prospect, or you can say that tribal influence as well. So we have to deal with that, and it is rooted problem which needs a lot of um, support, especially from male, because of their input, female can get more opportunities. So dynamic of gender sensitivity, when we talk about Pakistan, all the regions have different dynamics as a whole. So when we are working towards, especially working at metropolitan cities, you can see yourself, Sabeel, that the ratio of women working with men is quite higher now. While looking at the 20 years, you can see that when you were young, there must be not female working that much. But when you're looking at now in the market, you can see a lot of female faces, not just working, but representing as well, leading as well. This is the same, perspective we have to inbuild in those regions where is stagnancy. We have to communicate, and it's not women who can just voice for that gender sensitivity issue. Sabeel, here come individuals like you, where they take the leadership role in their community, where they educate their fellow men, and they come up with a strategy which is not even harmful for their, for community as a whole, which they have a consideration that perhaps if we are giving this right and opportunities, we might not have the balance in the community what we are looking for. You as a male, Sabeel, we have to find such network which can bring in the change in certain areas. Believe me, metropolitan city were the same years and years and years back. Now it's more accommodating for women because we paved the way together. The same way we have to pave way together in those areas where it's stagnancy. Thank you, Sabeel.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for such a valuable remarks. And exactly, this will be done through a collaboration between both genders, between men and women. Because if we see today, if there is gender inequality, if we are lagging behind on the gender index, this disaster will be equally bore by men as well. They have to bear the brunt of this inequality, and today we can see what we are facing in our politics, what we are facing in economy, what we are facing at the education sector, what we are facing at the health sector. So man has to equally accept that responsibility. This was very insightful, man. And the next in line is Ma'am Sadaf Kamran. Ma'am, I would like to hear your precious perspective on question number two.
Dear
What
Sabeel, dear Sabeel, Miss Sadaf is not here. Miss Ghazala can continue. Dr. Ghazala.
Sure, ma'am, I have special questions for Ma'am Ghazala. And I'm not going to ask question number two because question number three and question number four are very important, and Ma'am Ghazala can have a very important take on this question. So, Ma'am Ghazala, I will be reading the third question. How are gender considerations integrated into the National Action Plan and the recent military operation as well as the calm decision by the Apex Committee in Pakistan? And what constraints are impeding effective integration?
Thank you so much, Sabeel, for such interesting discussion and also throwing me this topic. I like the question. Okay. So, gender considerations integrated into a national action plan and the recent military operation Ascension decision by the Apex Committee in Pakistan. So you want my perspective on that. So according to my perspective, that integration of gender consideration into national security strategies and military operation like Pakistan's National Action Plan and Ascension involves addressing the specific needs and role of women and ensuring their active participation. Um, like how these considerations are being integrated and the constraints that hinder effective integration. I would like to put forward some points according to my study that in National Action Plan, they integrated the inclusivity in policy formulation. Like efforts are made to include women in the formulation and implementation of security policies. And also women's perspectives are considered vital in addressing the root causes of extremism and violence. As we know that woman by nature is a peaceful her personality is a peaceful, and she is the person who brings together all the family, and she is the one who can glue the whole family together. So that's why I think that woman role is very, very important in uh, bringing peace in, or even on the local level and the national level, and even within the countries, because in the past we have seen that women played a lot of like good roles in sorting out the issues and the peace treaties and other stuff. So what the protection measures they did at AP emphasizes the protection of women and children from violence and terrorism, and policies under NAP aim to provide security to vulnerable groups and ensure their rights are protected. Again, the National Action Plan has done a lot, and they formulated a lot of things. But you know, in our country, there are a lot of documentation already done, and there are a lot of plans which are already. But the main thing is the implementation, and we are looking forward to it. That now it's a time that implementation is very necessary. Otherwise, it will be another document just like the others. So, moreover, National Action Plans shows that the rehabilitation and the program about the gender sensitive rehabilitation program, they're designed for individuals affected by terrorism, especially included women, and these programs aim to reintegrate them into the society with adequate support. Another point which I would like to raise that women are encouraged to participate in community level initiatives to counter radicalization, and their role in promoting peace and stability within the community is recognized according to the National Action Plan. Okay. So Azme Istehkam, the Apex Committee's decision to launch military operation includes strategies to protect and support women in conflict affected area. So they make it sure that women's safety and addressing their specific needs is a part of the broader operational goals, and humanitarian assistance must be provided. Like operation like Azme Istehkam involves humanitarian assistance that considers the need of women and children, including healthcare, education, and psychological support. As we can see, according to our experience, that in the past, these things were not so much implemented. And the women suffer a lot in such type of operations. I already done some fellowship on this, the woman role, like during what you can say, the local migration, like during moving from the rural areas when there are some operations done and they move from one area to another and they face a lot of problems. So what constraints are hindering this effective integration, I think, is the cultural and societal norms. The deep-rooted norms and gender biases within the society and institution can limit the effectiveness of this gender-sensitive policies. Because there must be bonding between the nation, army, and the establishment. I think that there is a lack of commitment, and also you can say the belief system, and the strong bonding which need to implement these all things. That if we don't trust our establishment, our people are those who are the main stakeholders in implementation of these operations, and also their also the policies. So this is not going to happen. So first of all, I think the establishment and the stakeholders need to address and bring the trust factor, which is very important, because when there is no trust, so definitely the process will not go smooth. And again, the lack of representation, women representation in security agencies, decision-making bodies, policy formation is still very limited, And this is the thing which I feel by heart, that those who are capable and can do something are not given the chance to come into these main streams, are on the front line. And we definitely need those people that who understand that peace implementation, and who are willing to work with our own government establishment and stakeholders to bring peace, to bring unity, and to bring the trust among our nations. And definitely resource constraint is another issue, like insufficient allocation of resources for gender specific programs and initiatives hampers their effectiveness implementation. So financial and logistical constraint can limit the reach and impact of these programs. But on the other hand, like when we see that there are a lot of funds coming, and I'm a bit open and blunt person, that we misuse our funds and resources, and those who are supposed to get the right resources, like the effectees, are not getting that. So that can be the reason that which can hamper the smooth integration. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your amazing stance on this issue.
Thank
I
you.
would like to stress one point. You talked about trust, and there is a
Yeah.
saying that trust is older than hate. You might
True.
have heard that, and trust is indeed older than hate. And if they say that we are alive and hope, then I would say that we can keep our relations fruitful, our collaboration successful through trust. And there is that one factor manifested between the military janta, I would say, and the public, especially the youth and the women. Nowadays, we can see that there are people out on roads, there are peace marches. You're also from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and you are also figuring out all those things. People neither want a Taliban nor they want military operations. They don't want either of them. What they want is peace. And there is that trust issue that come in between, that people have started distrusting both the Taliban, which they have distrusted from very beginning, and now they have also a trust issue with the state institutions, and that is something that makes the military operations very difficult this time, because this trust has been breached, and now first what they have to do is to build that trust again, and then they can ask for cooperation from the people. So I would like to add another question, a smaller one, and that is, how can we transform this collaboration into a fruitful collaboration? Because people have started distrusting the institutions, but at the same time, they also want peace. So for that, institutions are up with the solution that we only have one option, and that is military operation, which people don't want. What should be done at that time? There are youth, both male and female, and as Pakistan has a majority of its population is youth. Well, we can see that almost 44%, I guess, population is youth. So how can that relation be transformed into fruitful collaboration between the state institutions and the public?
Yeah, actually, I think that one is like you can put the peace part into the curriculum, like you know that when the child born and he start developing his personality, so he picks everything around him, what the mom said, what the mother said, father said, what the relatives are saying, what is good for you, what is bad for you, what is dangerous, and what is fear and what is trust. So these things are not taught in the books. We were never taught that what is peace in a broader spectrum. We were not taught because inclusivity is very important. Maybe in the past there was less interaction, like the world was not global village and there was no internet, so people from the other countries are not supposed to know each other or whenever they get the chance, so they, but now it's a global village and internet made it very easy, so kids get affected, youth also get affected from everything, so they can get the peace and the hate both speeches very like within a seconds, right? So putting these things, the peace part into the books and letting them know what is peace, what is justice, and why we need a peace. We don't need to conquer the world. And again, they should be taught like how what is justice and what is peace. And second thing is that on the community level, at the villages level, we should make some peace committees of the women, youth, and it should be backed by the government because individual work is difficult. We are trying our best. Like I am the part of the Women Peace group, which is international, and I tried my best to bring some people under one umbrella, but it's difficult because when you go through the procedure, they make it difficult that you cannot put it in the curriculum. You cannot mm, uh, without going through the government and the other institution and establishment. You cannot go and teach peace into the um, schools, universities, and the colleges. So I think this is important. And when we have our communities, so people from the same area, same language, same color can interact easily and they can build a trust, right? So it can bridge between the nation and the government and definitely army and the stakeholders, because one person is very important to bridge that gap and fill the trust gap. Yeah, I think that I
Exactly.
answered the question.
Yes, ma'am, you did. And I appreciate your foresight about the curriculum point, that this can bring a generational change uh, uh, on our policies. If we are educating our generation, they are getting older and they in return educate their generations. That would be a very long-term solution, and which is very important. We need to come up with solution like this because we are plagued by this issue from 4 to 5 decades, and we need to come up with some foresightful for some with some long-term solutions. This was a very valuable. Thank you, ma'am. And I would like to ask your permission. If I should ask a fourth question from you, or I should come back towards you after I have a question with Ma'am Sadaf.
As you like.
Sure, ma'am. We will move towards question 4, and you can answer this question. To what extent are Pakistan's policies aligned with UN Security Resolution, UN Security Council Resolution 1325? And what are the gaps between policy formulation and implementation?
UN Security Council resolution emphasized the importance of women participation in peace and security efforts. I'm also part of this group. I told you that, and I did this peace fellowship as a lecturer, so I'm certified lecturer for the peace too. So like protection of women and girls during conflicts and gender mainstreaming in all peacekeeping activities. And Pakistan, being a member state of the UN, has shown some alignment with UNSCR 132 through various policies and initiatives. However, there are still significant gap between policy formulation and implementation. Like National Action Plan on Women, Peace and Security. So Pakistan has made efforts to align its policies with UNSCR by developing a national action plan that focus on women's role in peace, building and security. Also, the NAB includes provision for the protection of women and girls in conflict zones and their participation in peace processes and the integration of a gender perspective into security policies. Number second, women's participation in peace processes. So Pakistan has taken steps to increase women's representation in peace processes and decision-making roles related to peace and security. I have seen some gatherings about the peace building in Islamabad, and I attended one of them arranged by Aurat Foundation. So initiative to include women in local and national peace committees have been promoted to ensure that their voices are heard in conflict resolution and peace building efforts. And another thing is gender sensitization trainings, like security personnel and peacekeepers receive training on gender sensitivity and the protection of women and girls during conflicts. And also trainings aim to raise awareness about the specific needs and vulnerabilities of women in conflict situations. Again, we have seen the example of like our police women who are playing very active role in performing their duties as all the traffic police women. So it makes a comfortable environment around the country that a woman can feel safe while driving around the road because they can see the same gender around them. Again, the legislative framework. So Pakistan has introduced various laws and policies to protect women's rights and address gender-based violence, which align with the broader goal of UNSCR. Legislative measures include the protection of women, like criminal law amendments and asset control and asset crime prevention acts. So gaps between the policy formulation and implementation, which I think is the limited implementation of National Action Plan, which I already told that there's a difference between making the formulation and the drafting and implementation, because the end thing is how you are good in implementing, because it shows the result and it shows the difference, and it brings the transformation in the society when you implement it strictly and strongly and loudly. So while the NAP on women, peace and security is a positive step in implementation, its implementation has been slow and uneven. So there is often a lack of resources, coordination, and political will to fully operationalize the plan. And yeah, I will admit that political personnel made a lot of problems in smooth implementation of things, because there are again the kickbacks and likes and dislikes, and they have their own agendas. So I think that country have one agenda, which is just for the progress of the country, safety of the country, despite any party come. Like parties come and go, but the country is there, and the country needs some strong agendas, some strong rules and pathways, which are not supposed to be changed. So monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to track the progress of NAP implementation are weak and leading to accountability issues. Yeah, accountability is the main concern. Again, when the establishment change, when the parties change, they roll up the others' plans and they bring another one. So that's why the country is facing difficulties in moving forward. And that's why it slows down all the process. So insufficient representation and participation, like despite policies promoting women participation, their representation in peace process and security sectors remains limited. And another complaint, which I would like to put on this platform, that they bring women as a eye candy. They don't select women who are intellectual, who knows what to speak and where to speak. So that's the main issue. that they must not just fill the criteria, gap the seat that, yeah, we are bringing women and we should bring intellectual people. It doesn't matter, it's men or women, but those who knows the exact figures, exact values, and what they are talking. So that's the main issue of our country. And like women participation in local peace committee, national security institution is not adequately institutionalized and leading to token representation. Yeah, rather than meaningful involvement. That's the thing, and it is like even noticed globally. And resource and capacity constraint, like there's a lack of dedicated resources and funding to support the implementation of gender sensitive policies and programs. Again, I will stress that just need to smooth transition. Smooth transition will make the resources and funds and everything like accountability. If accountability is strong, then there is no way that the country can protection and support services, like protection measures of women and girls in conflict zones are often inadequate. So people, women has fears going to the conflict zone because, the first sense is the security of their own self, and the need for more robust and accessible supportive services, including healthcare, psychological support, and legal assistance. So survivors of gender-based violence face barriers in access to justice and support services, including social stigma, lack of awareness, inadequate and legal and institutional frameworks. So I think that these are the main constraints.
Exactly, ma'am. If it comes to paper, then I think we can secure 100 by 100 marks. But when it comes to implementation and the way we implement things, that's where the problem lies. And that's where we are lagging behind because we are very lazy. We are not even lazy because we have not even started. There are so many things we need to implement the laws which we already have legislated on. Thank you so much. This was very deep and insightful. Thank you, ma'am. And Ma'am Sadaf has joined us, I guess, again. Ma'am Sadaf, are you here with us? Ma'am Sadaf Kamran. I guess ma'am has a connectivity issue. Last time she tried to check her mic, but her voice was dropping. Ma'am Maheen, can you confirm? Can you please confirm if ma'am Sadaf is with us?
She is with us. I think she's having technical issues. I think we should wait for like a couple of seconds. If no, then we will move forward with other section.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. And Dr. Agnes is here as
Yes,
a
hello.
participant.
She's here.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
hello. Yes, am I
Hello.
audible? Hello,
Yes,
everyone.
please.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, there is some problem. Issue
Yes, it's okay, ma'am. We
because
understand. Can we move forward with your question?
yes, please. Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. The question is, what efforts are being made to address the gender gap in policymaking institutions in Pakistan? And what are the challenges in achieving balanced policymaking?
honestly, so I think it's related to your third question. What extent are Pakistan's policies aligned with the Security Council, right?
Ma'am, should I repeat the question?
Yes, please.
What efforts are being made to address the gender gap in policymaking institutions in Pakistan? And what are the challenges in achieving balanced policymaking? What's your perspective and what's your take on this question?
Okay. In my opinion, first of all, here is major problem is equality and fairness and the gender sensitivity. Here is the gender sensitivity in Pakistan is a very crucial, and it's a very. I think we should promote the women first, the participation in all aspects of society to the leadership role, and address gender-based violence and discrimination, etc., and more inclusive environments to them, and ensure equal access to education and employment opportunities for women and men. And the effective institution, I think the effective institution is a more important part of uh, our society. So ensure that institutions are representative of the population, are they serve, including equal representation of women. Implement policies that promote work-life balance and support for caregivers. Encourage transparency and accountability in institutions to address corruption and gender based. Example of if we talk about the examples of gender mainstream in public policy for SDG goals, uh, uh, 15. So, lot of examples we can see in the society. So, in Canada, the gender-based analysis plus GBA plus school help policymakers consider the impact of policies on diverse group of women and men. So there are a lot of challenges, and we are facing in Pakistan. So resistance. Here is a one most challenge is the resistance change, the lack of awareness. And in my opinion, solution is conduct awareness campaign, provide training to policymakers and the public, and educate data and analysis tools, invest in gender disaggregated data collection and develop group-based analysis tools, and the gender mainstreaming in public policy, especially in the context of SDG 14. SDG 14 is a vital for achieving gender equality and ensuring that all members of society benefit from inclusive and justice governance system. So gender justice plays, that gender justice plays a vital role in ensuring strong institutions in the one several ways. First of all, the accountability and transparency. Institutions that promote gender justice are more likely to be transparent and accountable as the rights of all members of society. Ensuring gender justice is fundamental to upholding human rights. Must protect and promote the rights of all genders to be considered just. So I think the gender justice ensures that all genders have equal opportunity. So policy effectiveness and programs that designed with the gender and more likely to be effective to consider the impact of various things. So by prioritizing gender sensitivity, justice, governance is effective, equitable, and sustainable, leading to a strong and more resilient. I think I just answered properly.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was very, very insightful. And thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. And now I would like to invite Dr. Agnes. Dr. Agnes, if you want to share your perspective or if you want to ask questions from Ms. Sadaf, she's a country representative at WomenAscension. Dr. Agnes, please.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, ma'am. Are you there? Dr. Agnes.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, do you want to ask questions? Do you want to share your perspective on gender mainstreaming?
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. Please, I have a small question. Is how is integration done over there? Because here in Cameroon, they have started giving room for women to assist with their roles in various aspects, like in politics, like in the social life. But now I do not clearly get how integration and gender mainstreaming is done so far in your country. Thank you.
How integration and gender mainstreaming is done in Pakistan. I guess Ma'am Sadaf is not audible very clearly. I would like Ma'am Maheen Amjad to share
Yes,
her
I'm
perspective.
audible. Yes, I want to add.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible now.
Yes, actually, I found there is a gap between policy formulation and execution. So, first of all, cultural and societal end. So, the attitude and the effective implementation of gender sensitive policy and strict women participation in these security processes. So this resistance to change, the actual resistance to changes with the traditional gender roles affected the practical application of policies promoting women empowerment. So here are some resource allocation, insufficient funding. Okay, so limited budget allocation for gender programs and initiatives, ample effective implementation. Secondly, lack of infrastructure. So, in educate infrastructure to support women participation and protection in the conflict area. Secondly, institutional challenge. We are facing the institutional challenges, capacity and training, lack of lack of training and capacity building initiatives for security personnel and policymakers on gender issues. Furthermore, is a coordination with the United Nations Security Council, uh, uh, um, which is the 1325. So, coordination and monitoring, deep coordination among the government agencies and insufficient monitoring mechanism to track progress and enforce accountability. Women representation in peace negotiations, security sector, and decision-making bodies will show limiting their influence on policy implementation. So, the in my point of view, inclusivity efforts to include women from diverse backgrounds, particularly from conflict-affected areas, are often inadequate. So, here are adding, in my opinion, by adding these steps, Pakistan can more effectively align its policies with the United Nations Security Council and ensure the meaningful participation and protection of women in peace.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was very enlightening, and I hope that has answered Dr. Agnes' question. And now I would like to invite Main Maheen Amjad to share her perspective and to close the session. Ma'am Maheen Amjad, please.
Thank you, Sabeel Beta, and thank you for this all of the valuable questions. Thank you, Ms. Sadaf, Dr. Ghazala, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Agnes, for sharing your perspective as well, for understanding of what we call it, gender integration. So, since we have very less time in hand, so overall, whoever is listening to us, please know that gender integration means inclusivity. Inclusivity, in a sense, we value equity. That means we are working towards equal benefiting both the gender equally. Why? Why understanding the equity in gender integration? Because before coming up with any policy and development program, we need to understand each gender has their own needs, because there is gender differences, and we have to incorporate gender perspective. And looking at that, we have to promote equality. Then we have to empower the minority or the ones who are not feeling empowered by giving them opportunities, and which we usually highlight in different SDGs as empowering women and girls. But we have other stories inside this empowerment as well when we're looking towards giving opportunities to those who are looking for one. Not these only steps are not just a cycle, but it can only be continued if we continuously check and balance on each of the steps we are making in the community. And these steps are usually made in the form of small projects in which we make them understand the benefit of understanding, inclusivity of both gender in the community, and by understanding the differences, by valuing the skills, and it goes from equality to equity, and that's very important for healthy community, and which leads to many capacity building programs on ground. So this is the cycle what we are talking about, and this is very much integrated with the research topic. Why? Because if we don't have understanding of this, we cannot make community as a whole progressive. It lags behind because we don't understand the gaps, we don't understand the differences, we cannot express, we cannot practice. So society weakens with time. So that's why understanding of these four steps in gender integration is very important for any economical or social progress of any community. So with that, I would like to thank Sabeel for choosing this topic. I would like to thank Sabeel for making us involved in this project, and I really hope Sabeel would lead this project into a national level, and we would like to see him grow and lead the community where we are genuinely missing this element. So thank you, Sabeel Beta, for your effort towards this research, and I'm really proud to have you in my team. Thank you very much. So that's the conclusion from my side. Thank you, Sadaf, one more time for joining in, Dr. Agnes. So over to you, Sabeel Beta.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You always have been empathetic. I think everyone should have one mentor like you. I think we are running short of time, and in closing, I want to thank our speakers once again for their time and expertise. Thank you so much once again. Your contributions have provided us with a deeper insight into the role women can play in strengthening and democratizing institutions at all tiers of governance. I also want to thank Ms. Ghazala Kasmi, Dr. Agnes, Dr. Maheen Amjad again, and last but not the least, the WomenAscension, for giving me the opportunity to discuss this important topic. We hope today's discussion has been informative and thought-provoking. And for me, it was very informative and thought-provoking. And we look forward to continuing this important dialogue in future events. Thank you all and have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sabeel Beta. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.